Okay, so this is a day before, and this is daily attendance for May 12th. I try to get it a day in before because sometimes the uploads in YouTube take forever, and then that way you can get it in. So the link to daily attendance, because this is daily attendance, is up. So remember that you have the introductory video, which is your first assignment. You need to see the whole video, comment on it, screenshot it, right? And then you upload the screenshot onto SU, okay? Introductory video and all daily attendance will be put in the first week, period. That's where all of them are going to be in there. And then your assignments will be hopefully in the corresponding week if they fit. If they don't, then I sort of have to, place them elsewhere. So you need to look for them, okay? One time I had a couple of students that got really mad because they couldn't find, because it wasn't where it was supposed to be. I don't know what that means, okay? Because, if they don't fit, then they don't fit. So, so this is daily attendance. Make sure that you, comment, snapshot, and then upload. I forgot to mention about discussion board. I usually have discussion board on Friday. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do it possibly on Wednesday or Thursday, so that way we can get rid of it. But you have, a couple of days to do that. Okay. So daily attendance, you have to turn this in a couple of days. Today's Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, I think, because it's May 12th. So I'll give you Wednesday, Thursday, and then probably Friday, okay? Daily attendance will be just Monday and Tuesday, but because we started on a Tuesday today, then it sort of offset it. That way you don't have to worry about daily attendance, further along the week, and you don't have to worry about it, okay? Daily attendance is really important. It's important that you get it in. If you tell me 2 weeks later that you forgot all your daily attendance, that just tells me you didn't look at the videos, and I'm not going to give you a break, okay? And daily attendance, you can do it whenever. There's people that say, well, I work. Well, YouTube is on 24/7, so you can even, don't do that. You could probably hear me while you're driving, but I don't recommend it because it is a visual. So, you can 20 minutes wherever, okay? You spend 20 minutes, Instagramming or whatever, okay? So, so that's it. So this is daily attendance. I will probably be setting up a discussion board tomorrow. I am getting and preparing my team's list and, and sections and classes, which is, as I told you, a really laborious thing to do because there's so many of you. So I need to go in and individually put in every single student, and I have 300 students more or less every term, so I have to individually put in the students into that group. Okay, we will start Teams meeting next week, just because today you guys need to settle in with your other classes this week and all that. Okay, so we will begin to Teams meeting next week. Teams meetings are not obligatory, but I hate speaking to just nothingness, so it'd be nice if you guys showed up. It's also nice if you're ready for the camera, because I don't like seeing just like you see me, if you block me out or you just have whatever your initials, and I can't see who you are. So I really would like a Teams meeting where you guys show up. And that is where I sort of lecture and give out all the information that I think is pertinent to the class. So remember that you're paying for this, and you're paying for the expert advice that your professors bring in. So I am an expert in my field, and so there's a lot of things that you will not get anywhere else if it's not with me, because I have the experience, I have the degrees, and I have the expertise on it. Okay, so take advantage of me. That's what you pay for. People, my clients pay a specific quota just for me to start their paperwork. So so I'm part of the deal for your class. So make sure that you fully take advantage of that. So Teams meeting next week, and then discussion board. Remember that we will be having our midterm next week. I'll probably tell you what it is on Friday, or probably upload on the weekend so you can work on it if you want. I'm sort of thinking for midterm that we're going to do something really different. I either do an essay, or I do an interpretation of a song that I really, really like. Not that I like the song, but that I like the interpretation and the song or a poem. That's always been really fun. But I think this time I'm going to just do a vision board. And so comment below and see what your midterms are. As I tell everybody, school is not a democracy, but in my class sometimes it is. So you get to choose sometimes what your midterm and your final is. How cool is that, right? Take advantage of it, because no teacher does that. Because school is not a democracy, okay? School is a dictatorship. You're told what you're supposed to do, because that's just the way school is set up, because we're the experts and we have all sorts of curriculum, all sorts of requirements that need to be met, so that way you can have your certifications and your degrees. Okay, so it is what it is. You know, like English, who wants to take English, right? But it's part of the requirements, so let's make the best of it, just as is life, right? Sometimes we do things we don't want to, but it's part of getting through the process in order to achieve whatever your goal is. And that's what I sort of want to do for midterm. You know, I want you all to think, you know, long term, be thinking about what your goals are. I'll explain it a little bit later what vision board is, but you know, as you all know, I'm very spiritual, and so I have always you know, done I believe very much in the law of attraction, and I believe very much in manifesting and setting the intention, which really is about just setting the goals. So what is it in your life that you want? And I've always had very specific goals in all areas of my life. It'd be, you know, career, business, jobs, amorous relationships, family relationships, my relationships overall, and then of course my spirituality and my economics. Okay, so I've had different goals for different areas and categories in my life, and I have always been very specific and very goal oriented. Okay, because I am very spiritual, we call it manifestations and we call them intentions, and so we set the intention. You set the intention to whatever it is that you want, and you will achieve it, but you have to work it as well. But you also need to believe that's what you can achieve. And so, as I tell everybody, if your dreams do not scare you and do not shake the very core of you, then your dreams aren't big enough. Okay, and that's what your dreams should be. You should dream things that you never thought that you could never get, and but believe in them, because you can achieve anything you so wish. Okay, so I'm thinking about, you know, doing the vision board, so let me know about that. It would be like a board that you have to sort of present to me, and you would have to record it and then upload it. It sounds like fun, you know, and vision boards are things that you sort of place in a place, in an area of your house that you can visualize and you see. Okay, and I can get into it later, but I guess not. O'Connor, which is the, you know, that fighter, UFC fighter or whatever, he is a firm believer of visualization, is what it's called. It. So he credits his career to the visualization. There's also, about 5 or 6 years ago, there was this woman in the Olympics that won like taekwondo or something, and she visualized what her last competition and her last win would be, and so she completely visualized what that would, like, what her, you know, it's not a fight, I don't know what it is when you do the competition. She visualized step per step, and she manifested it, she created it, and it sort of unfolded that way, and that's how she won the gold medal. So you can achieve incredible things, and very highly skilled, you know, people that are high profile and very heavy duty professionals, and people have done extraordinary things, use the law of attraction. They also use the visualization, which is amazing because you visualize whatever it is, but there's a lot of energy that goes into it. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of discipline. Those people, UFC, he's in perfect shape. I'm sure he practices and, you know, and works out what he needs to work out. And then of course the taekwondo gold medalist as well. So it's a lot of work. You can't just sort of like wish it and pray it, right? Because it's sort of a prayer, right? You pray it into existence, and you pray it, whether you believe in God, source, energy, whatever, Buddha, you know, Allah, whatever it is, then you pray into it. And so, but you need to believe it, and you need to believe that your prayers are going to be answered, and you need to believe that the universe, source, God, is going to provide for you, and it is going to make it happen. But you also need to work it. If you don't work it and you're expecting, it's like trying to get a job, right? You're wanting a job, but you don't go out and put applications, you're in your house depressed, you know, you're so negative, you're saying you can't do it or whatever, then you're never going to find one, right? So in Spanish, it's like rogándole a Dios no encontrar, like praying to God that you're not going to find something, right? So really in the end. So think about that. Maybe that's a comment that you guys need to do. What is it that you want for your midterm? That's, you know, I sort of really wanted you to set your goals now that we have gone through a really hard time for COVID, and it's time to refresh what it is that our dreams are about, what it is that, you know, what is it that we want, what do we want our life to be like, and what is it that we visualize our life to be, and what kind of dreams do we have, especially when COVID has been so difficult and we've lost so many people, and we saw how how delicate and that's not the right word, how special life really is, and truly acknowledge and I don't know, I can't think of the word, ingratitude, be thankful for what we have, right? I had Mother's Day and I had Mama come over, and she's pretty up there in age, as you all know, because I'm old, right? And so it was very nice to see my siblings. And I remember, because we were all vaccinated, so so I remember, and I have a very ill sister-in-law, so we all have to be very, very careful. She's terminally ill. And it was very private, but since you guys are healthcare, so just, I share a lot about myself so you guys can learn. I tell you a lot of my stories so you guys can figure out and sort of maybe remember what I say. So when you're in that situation, you sort of navigate through life much easier. It's sort of like a shortcut. You can take it or not. When I was younger, I wish people would have told me a lot of stuff that nobody ever tells you anything. So anyway, so we got together for Mother's Day, and I remember I always used to complain, and I didn't want to see the family, and this and that, and blah, blah, and whatever. And for the first time, like in COVID, I was just so grateful for them to be here. And if they didn't want my food, that was fine. I would make them whatever they wanted. Before, it would have been like, I would have been complaining. So I'm just very happy to have family, and that we all sort of survived and understood that we were lucky to survive. Okay. And so it was in gratitude for the Mother's Day. And that is the best gift a mother or a child can have, because we all have mothers, whether you're adopted or whether you have a tia or a grandmother that raised you, or anybody, a friend, an aunt. We all have mothers, and we all are blessed in that sense. So very, very beautiful. And Mother's Day, let's talk about Mother's Day, because I told you that I believe in reincarnation, and I believe in contracts, okay, and spiritual contracts and sacred contracts is what I believe in. And so I believe that in spirit life we have these contracts, as I told you, where we sort of play out, life, right? And everybody sort of plays their role. And life is school. School is not life. Life is school. And so we are here to grow and to expand and to be the best version of ourselves. And we don't have to be better than anybody. We just have to be better than who we were a minute ago, better than who we were a month ago, better than who we were a year ago. And the only competition that we have is with ourselves to be better and to expand. So, Mother's Day to me is very sacred, because I don't feel like, although I do like my little gifts, one year I told the kids, don't give me anything, and they didn't. And I was like, not even a card. They're like, you said that. I'm like, well, okay. I didn't express myself correctly, right? So we always are in family, but really Mother's Day for me is being grateful and thankful to my own children, because in spirit life and in our sacred contracts, I believe that they, I'm their mother, so they allowed for me to be their mother, which creates expansion and growth for me, because every role that we play is an expansion, and it's a time and it's an opportunity for us to learn and to grow in that specific role, okay? Because if you're not a mother, then you don't know what that is, right? And you can be a mother to fur babies. I have a lot of students that are mothers to fur babies, okay? And where motherly love comes in. So I have been very grateful always, and Mother's Day really for me has not been about mother. Well, I love my mother, and so I do that traditionally. But for me and my family, in my immediate family, I am very grateful to my children for allowing me to be their mother in this lifetime. And so when you shift the perspective and you live in gratitude, right? And you're like, well, I'm the mother, and they should do this for me or do that. But when you shift it and say, it is because of them that I am a mother, then you see things in a very different way, and everything in gratitude. So it's a time right now to really be in gratitude for having lived what we lived. And if you're here, you escaped COVID, whether you got it or not, you made it through, when there's hundreds of thousands and millions of people in the world that passed away. So we are in gratitude for our life, and so we are now understanding the simplicities of what life is, and how important family is, and how important it is to be united. And it is through our collaboration and our coming together as humans, okay? Not because you're black or white or whatever, or brown or whatever. We came together as humankind, as mankind, to really beat the odds and be able to, overcome the challenges and this devastating virus. So it was a very collective energy and a collectiveness, a collegially, right, and a unity of everyone, the whole world coming together to be able to come up with a virus, to be able to successfully, reduce the amount of people that possibly were dying, to be able to, get along, right, and be able to fulfill the needs that, the basic needs. I mean, there wasn't toilet paper, all sorts of stuff, as you all know, thermometers. It has changed our life forever. Okay, and it was amazing growth, and so that's also about a growth collectively, which is really what I'm here to do. We are here, and that's part of what I'm teaching. We are here to collectively grow, because as we saw with the virus, we are all interconnected, whether we like it or not. Okay, and once we understand that we are interconnected, and my actions affect you, and your actions affect your children, and their actions affect so and so and so and so, we're all interwoven, and that is an incredible thing to understand. So with that, I'm thinking that the best thing for midterms would be, to set your intention and to set your vision board, and what is it that you want, and dream big, and be very specific about what it is that you want. If you want to make $100,000, then you state that you have to make $100,000. If you say, well, I just want to make a lot of money, well, what's a lot of money? Maybe a lot of money for you isn't a lot of money for me, or maybe a lot of money for me isn't a lot of money for my clients. So what isn't a lot of money? So you have to set the intention specifically. The more specific you are, the better it is, the more it manifests, and the visualization comes through. Okay, so I will be, sort of explaining that during midterm. So that's it. I will be having 2 extra videos for homework, because you will be having homework. So I'm going to do those separately. So you need to go check out those videos for your specific class. Okay, I'm very excited to have you all here. Just because we're coming out of COVID, which is great. I highly encourage you to get your vaccines. I was very shocked with the medical industry, that there were some people who didn't believe the virus, and it was just crazy, and they weren't clean, and they didn't take the precautionary, I'm not medical, so you guys are the ones that know, hygiene, or, steps in order to not cross-contaminate. It was mind-blowing. Those people should not be in the medical field, period. They don't believe in science. So anyway, a very exciting time for us, okay? So this is daily attendance, May 12th. It'll probably upload a day before, so don't be confused, okay? That's why I'm going to put the messages on there, the titles for the dates, and we're coming along. So make sure you get your book, English 133, and then English 145. Make sure that you click on there, and I'll explain on the clicking, okay? So namaste, love and light, ciao.